I live in Dana Point, California, which is fortunately right near a lot of artists in this area. Laguna Beach and all up the coast here. Right now I'm selling my art in the Joanne Artman Gallery, which is in downtown Laguna Beach across the street on Coast Highway from the Laguna Art Museum. The gallery wants the work not continually, because they change their shows once a month, and usually the gallery artists it's called a stable of artists that they represent on a continual basis, and that means that they have some of your artwork probably in the back all the time. So if someone comes in and says, hey, I want to buy a Bardene sculpture or painting, they can pull it out and hopefully sell it. And then they have a website that has all the artists, and that website shows several paintings or works of art that the artist has done. So and they usually take 50% of your profit if you sell something, and do the publicity and put a show on once a month, and generally try to take care of you and make some money for both you and the gallery. There's no written contact. Some galleries do that, but this particular gallery, it's just kind of all done with a shake of a hand.
Okay.
And I have to give them a resume and an artist statement and a file of paintings that I've done and art, sculpture that I've done, and they do the rest.
Have you ever tried selling your work on your own without a gallery?
Occasionally in the past I've had, especially when I was doing the all sculpture, I would have out here in the patio, I'd set it up and I've done that, an art show, and then I'd drop the price down, and I always sold a lot that way. But it was a way of earning some money quickly. Because sculpture, it takes up a lot of room. Painting isn't so bad that way, but sculpture, you can't just hang on to it forever. You've got to move it along, so you do have to discount it occasionally. And the gallery does that too. But I try not to undersell the gallery, because they're putting money out and they need to make a profit too. So I've been at both sides. I've run a gallery myself and owned one, and it's very expensive to run a gallery. So you don't want an artist who's going to undersell the stuff that you're trying to sell as well. So you have to be fair about it.
So would you say you make more profit selling your artwork yourself, or do you make more money in galleries?
Well, over the years I've generally made more money, about 50-50 I'd say, actually, because I've been in the Festival of Arts down in Laguna. I was in that for 15 years, and in that you sell it yourself, and so I sold quite a bit that way.
How difficult is it getting galleries to show your art?
It's very difficult to get galleries to show your art. There have been times when I had too many galleries wanted my art, and I'd have to say, I'm sorry, because you don't want more than one gallery in a community at a time. But that's very few and far between. That doesn't happen very often. But right now I've sent out resumes to a gallery in Oregon, and one in Studio City, and one in Claremont, California. It takes a lot of time and effort, but you need to really hustle to sell your art. It takes a lot of time to do it, because you have to get the pictures all ready, you have to redo your resume, you've got to rewrite your artist statement, and get it all in the mail, and then get your reject letters. The best way to get into gallery is by if a friend refers you, then you're usually, that's the best way. That's how I got in the gallery I am in now. A friend of mine that I show with a lot, she's a painter, called me and said, "Hey, would you like to be in the show?" And I said, "Sure." So that's how I got in with the present gallery I'm in.
How long have you been selling your art?
I've been doing this since the late 70s, early 80s. For a long time. And we'll see, we'll keep plugging away.
Where did you first start selling your art at?
A gallery in Laguna called the Chalice Gallery. He had seen my work in an auction for a non-profit organization and liked it. And the lady that was a friend of mine that was putting the show up said, "Hey, I think Mr. Chalice likes your art. Why don't you give him a call?" So I did, and he said, "Yeah, I do like your sculpture, so bring some down and we'll see if we can sell it for you." So that was the first gallery that I was in, and that was just before I quit teaching. I decided I had to quit teaching because you can't be a good teacher and a good artist. You have to make a choice. So I quit the teaching and started full-time as an artist. And that was in the early 80s.
Can you remember which art piece you made the most profit on?
Well, probably the one, I have a wood bas-relief in the front room that I'll show you. And I sold it to some people who I'd gone to college with at Pomona College in Claremont. And unfortunately, this was years ago, maybe 25 years ago. Unfortunately, it got badly damaged. So they brought it back to me, and I said, "Look, it was in about 10 pieces." And I said, "I'll fix it for you, but I'm going to keep it." So I not only sold it once, but I got it back. So I think that's probably the biggest bargain that I've had.
But so how much did you sell that one for originally?
I can't remember. It was probably a couple $1,000. None of my things are terribly expensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what happened with that. So thanks a lot, and I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed it.